Welcome back, creatures of the night, to another episode of Lovely Little Dolls, a Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition Chronicle. I am, as always, Leah, your GM, and with me we have...
My name is Lee Gelwix, and I play Ezra Delaney.
I'm Robert. I play Victor Castile.
I'm Jeff Zappin. I play Chris Jenkins, a.k.a. Null Void, the Tremere techie/hacker of the group, the guy in the chair.
I'm Richard. I play Ronan Walsh. A problem.
A problem.
Where we last left most of this group, they had a run-in with a hunter who was, as the prince put it, a true believer who could wield the power of her faith to send kindred running. And where we last left the other group, they'd been in Elysium hunting for these hunters' mole, and they do believe that they've found him. And we'll be having a special episode today, as we'll be having a slight crossover between our two groups. The usual crew here is joined by Victor from the other group. And it is now the night after the other group found the mole in Elysium, and he drove off. And the sun sets, and you all wake up. And the news of your mishap with the hunters has hit the news, the blogs, whatever. But all that's really been reported is that guns were fired on the steps of the National Cathedral, and no one really seems to have much information besides that. No injuries were reported. All right. So, the news of your encounter has hit the airwaves, but again, there's just not that much information, mostly thanks to Chris's very effective lockdown on any sort of cell service in the area. And you all wake up the evening after, not the evening immediately after the hunters, but the next one. And you all have texts on your phone that say the usual. They seem to be from the one that Jack likes to refer to as Lusitania. They seem to... They have an air of urgency, and they say, "Come to Georgetown, we have further information." And Ronan, Rosemary seems to already know what the text message is about, but is holding off saying anything. And Victor, you get a message from Maisie saying, "The prince is interested in hearing specifically what happened on Elysium last night. He already heard from his person, but, well, you know how that guy is. So if you can head over there, then just give him the rundown."
I reply back, "Very well, en route to the prince now." And I'll hop in and head that way.
All right. And how is everyone else getting there?
Prior to actually heading out, I will stop by our local Tremere Chantry admin person, whoever is on the job today, and verify that the requisitions I put in for both a sniper rifle and either upgrades to the current group van or a new van, a new comms van for my purposes, has at least been submitted.
It has been submitted. It is being processed.
Absolutely. And I will check on our favorite new ghoul, Jonas, Bay of our coterie.
So Jonas is sitting in the room that he was given in the chantry, and he's got a lot of pieces of paper around him, and they look like half filled out forms, but he is a little bit busy playing with what appears to be a ball of rubber bands.
Jonas?
Hi. Yeah, hi.
What's with the ball?
I found it.
You found a rubber band ball.
Yes.
Did anyone say it was important?
No. Is it supposed to be important? I found it in the
No,
library.
Okay, no, it's all good because we are not expected to spend 100% of our time on our studies. I'm checking in on you. How are things going? Are you doing well? How are you beginning to fit into the acolyte life?
Oh, it's going great. And as he picks at the bands on the ball, one of them snaps and just a small fireball erupts. He's like, ah!
So you need to be careful of that.
I didn't know rubber bands could explode.
So remember how we are magicians.
Yeah, we're wizards.
We're wizards. Sometimes wizards play pranks on each other. A rubber band that can explode is one of those pranks.
Oh.
So.
I wonder if this one will explode too, and he pulls another rubber band and a fireball comes out.
So now you've had two that have exploded.
Yes.
So what could you expect of the third?
I mean, you can't be sure until you pull it.
However, I'm taking it you weren't good at statistics.
C's get degrees, man.
C's do get degrees. However, a fundamental thing is if something happens once, it may be a coincidence. If something happens twice, it also coincidence.
And 3 times is enemy action.
Pretty much, yes. However, we do not have enemies within the chantry.
Right.
We only have people who are providing us lessons.
Educational experiences. He starts picking at another rubber band.
So, if you have something that it might potentially explode, have they shown you the safe room yet?
No.
There is a room. Go to the. Do you know where the front desk is?
Yes.
Go to the front desk. Ask them where the safe room is.
And then I'm gonna throw the rubber band ball against the wall.
No. That is where you can very indiscriminately, liberally. I mean, yes, if you want, you can throw it against the wall. If you want, you can pick at the rubber band ball, as you've been doing, so it can explode in
And we lost you again. What was that?
The rubber band ball exploded.
The rubber band ball exploded.
You can request that. So, yes, you can toss this against the wall. You can pick every rubber band you wish. But this is so you don't affect the other acolytes.
Wait, I have an idea. What if I threw this at someone's head? Like, nobody here, but like what if I threw this at somebody's head?
So, the chantry would not like it.
Not here, not at anybody here. I like the people here.
So if you think it would be effective, tuck it in your back pocket.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's like a fireball made of rubber bands.
It's a multi-use fireball because after you do it once, you can pick it back up and do it many times.
It's a flaming bouncy ball.
Yes, exactly.
This is the best thing I've ever found in a library.
So you need to save it.
Okay, I'll save it. Okay,
but make sure that whatever task you've been given as a new acolyte, you at least attempt to finish that task.
I mean, I'm filling out the forms. I wrote my name on all of them.
But what about the rest of the forms?
I wrote my name on several of them.
And the rest of the information?
I mean, I'll figure it out eventually.
Okay, just whatever you've been tasked to do, try and complete So, complete the task, have fun.
Yes.
Yes. Complete the task.
I found a pinball machine in a back room.
Yes, so that is for after the form is filled out.
Okay. Is it gonna explode too?
I'm gonna say no, it's not meant to, but I won't guarantee it won't.
Okay. I'll have to wear an apron when I play pinball. It'll work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't beat the high score. It's not worth it.
Okay, so checked on Jonas. He has obviously fallen to a few pranks that have been given to the new acolytes. I checked on my requisitions, which include a sniper rifle, a upgrade or new van for the Chantry that can double as a very sophisticated comms van, which I'm sure I will have to explain to someone at some point in time what that means.
Yeah.
And now I will report to where everyone else is told to report this evening.
And I know that Ronan is heading there with Rosemary. How is everybody else getting there? Because for some reason, Jack isn't answering the group texts.
Do we have a car yet, or am I still riding sidecar?
We have a car. You have a car, yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
You are no longer riding in the sidecar of the motorcycle.
Oh, come on now.
Wonderful.
Sidecar is amazing.
It's a little undignified.
It's only undignified if you feel it's undignified.
Well, I do, though, so it then is.
So Ezra is relieved that he doesn't have to take a car because he gets a little claustrophobic in them, but he would never tell Jack.
Oh.
So he is happily taking the metro.
So yeah, you take the metro and walk from there. There is no metro stop in Georgetown, but if you walk for about 15 minutes, you'll get there.
And Chris is doing the same thing. He will take the metro today.
Don't tell Jack.
We're not telling Jack. It's our group secret.
So no one is fighting for a parking spot in Georgetown.
Well, Rosemary is.
Yes, Rosemary is, but Rosemary seems to be very good at finding parking spaces in a way that only comes with flagrant disregard for parking laws.
That tracks.
I mean, it is after hours, Mm-hmm.
It's like fighting for a parking space if you're willing for that fight to include asserting dominance over the law.
Yeah.
And you're more than happy to use a switchblade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's good with that switchblade. I've seen it.
So all of you arrive at whatever points in time that you come up at. Drifter is standing at the door, leaning against the door. He's not smoking today, which could be considered concerning.
Drifter, my man.
Hey. Yeah, His Grace is in a mood, so just like know that going in there.
What kind of mood?
It's better for me to not comment on my betters. You'll see when you get in there. Just tread lightly.
Drifter, my
Yeah.
buddy,
Yeah.
would never, ever attribute anything you say negative to you.
Oh, good.
You are only helping, you're never hurting. So, just letting
You guys
know.
are friends too?
We're not friends, but Drifter is only good. He couldn't do a bad. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I could never do a wrong in my life.
Exactly,
ever.
exactly. So
See, Ronan knows I could never do a wrong in my life ever. I am wonderful and amazing and pure and perfect.
Never think
Yeah.
that anything that you ever said would be attributed back to you.
Yeah.
If you felt like it was something that, if was attributed back to you, would be bad. Just don't think that. Don't think that.
Yeah,
Not going to be repeated. Not going to be repeated.
His Grace is on a hair trigger right now. He is
Gotcha.
not happy.
Oh,
What does this have to do with rabbits?
Wait, what's his name? What was the guy we met last time?
Which guy you met last time?
The I'm not gonna say Twink, but Twink that we met last time. Blonde-haired, cute, that's been around him for like 600 years.
Oh, Gabe, yeah.
Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, where was I going with this?
I don't know. Where were you going with this?
You said unhappy. You said on trigger. You
Hair
said
trigger, yeah.
Anyway, appreciate the forewarning. Solid, dude. I'm gonna pass him like a 20 because I'm not wealthy, so you know.
He takes it and
Get
pockets it.
some good. Get some good stuff.
Yeah.
I know this can't get you good stuff, but put it towards good stuff.
Oh my God, Drifter, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to tip? I didn't know.
Nah, man, you don't need to.
Oh, are we? Oh, here. And he hands him a $100 bill.
Oh, thank you.
Ah.
All right, head in. Wait in the vestibule.
Yes. The over-decorated parlor room. It's really not decorated to be beautiful. It's decorated to say, I have a lot of money and I'm powerful.
Things that are very much worth more than we are.
It's not a Toreador's sitting room. It's a Ventru's sitting room.
Nobody thinks that the orb looks nice, but it does look expensive and impressive.
Exactly.
Yes.
And, you know, if you
And the
want to, you
Tremere
can
wonder
ponder it.
if... And the Tremere wonder, well, there's a sphere. It might be magical. And it keeps them off their game.
Mm-hmm.
No. We know automatically whether it is.
Huh?
Yeah.
But you
So
do check.
you head into the sitting room. You can hear voices from that back hallway where all of the important rooms are, but the walls are thick enough that you can hear the sound of people talking, but not quite what they're saying.
Can I turn on Auspex?
Yes.
This is going to be another good night, isn't it?
Did Rosemary come in with us, or is she
Yes,
just
she
sort of
did.
like dropping me off?
No, she came in with you.
Okay.
So you are hiding
Do I
in
pick
your
up better with the
senses.
Auspex? Yep.
You can't quite pick up the words. These are very good walls, likely made for this purpose. But you can pick up tones.
Are any of those tones Lila?
No, they are not.
Okay.
You can pick up
What
the
is the
sound
tone?
of the tone is roughly You can hear what roughly sounds like the prince's voice, except it lacks all of the usual playfulness.
Ooh.
Drifter sounds like he was being truthful.
I would expect that of Drifter. He would
Yes,
gain
as would
nothing.
I.
He would gain nothing out of. No, okay. I'll take that back. I could see him getting a slight kick every once in a while out of putting our type off kilter for absolutely no reason. But I think he's the type who enjoys his job and enjoys the fact that just giving us that little hint of truth makes his job worth it. So it feels
It's a fair
like
assessment.
Shit's going down.
When isn't it?
So there's the shit going down type of haha, I think something is amiss versus the I'm about to execute 14 slaves over things going awry.
I would say the tone is more the second one.
Exactly. So let's be prepared for that. Let's go in with the mindset of wait, who are you?
Victor Castile. Nice to make your acquaintance.
I'm assuming since you are inside the Georgetown Manor that you are one of us. So what type of one of us are you? Sorry to be blunt. I'm just, if things are going down bad, I want to get the niceties out of the way, make sure we're all on the same kind of level to go in.
Well, how best to answer? I suppose I'll go with this approach. Maisie is my sire.
Maisie.
If you know anything about the locals.
I look to the others. Maisie?
Rosemary, who
I
is
knew.
sitting there, just lounged in a chair, says, the keeper of Elysium.
Oh, we've met Maisie. Yes, Rosemary. Yes, okay. Very good. So we've got the spawn in a cordial way, not a negative way, of both the keeper. We've got the spawn of the what's your pointing to our local Malkavian. What's your
The
sire
Harpy.
again?
Fairfax.
The Harpy.
The Harpy. So we've got the Keeper, we've got the Harpy. I mean, I'm not going to say have a very close relationship, but at least have a connection with the sheriff. We've got like the entire spectrum of the political body present here, at least connections too. This seems like it might be a big thing.
I would expect nothing less considering the way things have been as of late.
Which things?
Well, the hunters, the issue with, well, at least one entity spilling secrets to the hunter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's a problem all the way around.
Oh, yeah. If we have anyone within the esteemed body of the Camarilla as a leak to the hunters, that's a big deal. So if this is involving that, yeah, I mean, having all of those involved that are at least one step away from all of those people getting involved, I feel like that's a good step, because then no one at that level is definitely implicated if things go awry. Everyone has, what's the term?
Plausible deniability.
Yes, exactly.
Rosemary leans to the side and says, I suppose if you're going with that theory, it explains why Ronan here is here as well.
We love
Wait, it
Ronan.
does?
Well,
Ronan.
I mean, I'm the Scourge and you're under my accounting.
I like that. Not because he is expendable, but because this gives him the opportunity to be absolutely fantastic. And we are going to help him be absolutely fantastic for you, Madam Scourge.
I hope so.
We are going to make you look fantastic.
I appreciate
That's my
that.
goal here.
I appreciate that.
That is my goal.
I mean, they didn't get to being the Scourge by not being good at their job.
I am
So
very
I'd
good
say
at my
they're
job.
already fantastic.
So I would push back against that, because from what I've heard, not internal to DC, but from people who have visited DC, oftentimes the Scourge, I'm not saying in this case obviously, is just someone who they expect does not have the humanity to second guess destroying other kindred.
I mean, there's a few more qualifications to it, but yeah, that is a factor.
I mean, so they've had people in other domains whose only qualification for their job was they were good at killing people.
Mm.
Killing
I'm also
people,
good at hunting people.
So hunting and killing people.
Tracking is
That was
important to find the person that you need to kill.
So, however, I feel that if, as all of us, as esteemed kindred as we are, or soon to be esteemed, because I think all of us are kind of, I'm just going to speak for myself, kind of bottom of the barrel right now. Anyone can disagree with me. I think the bottom line is we still have a lot to prove. So if we can prove it, we can point to our betters and say, this is the reason we did a good job. I think that's a great day or a great night for us. What do you guys think?
Upward mobility sounds good.
Exactly.
I could see that. You were picking up on tones, I'm guessing, by what you were saying a little while ago about column 2.
Column 2?
My fellow sculptor.
Yes, I was saying that it was more, I was agreeing with Chris that the tone was more that of a ruler who decides to slay his slaves out of frustration.
You heard that tone, but did you hear whom, or any responses of whom they might have been talking to?
Would I have picked up on that?
The person that presumably the prince is talking to seems to be speaking quietly enough that you can't pick it up through the walls, even with auspex. It is very likely that these walls were designed with circumventing auspex eavesdropping in mind.
I'm going to do a, would that be wits plus self-control?
What are you trying to do?
Trying to avoid just burrowing through the wall with a chisel.
Yeah, roll me a wits plus self. Roll me actually a
willpower.
One moment. Roll me a, let's call it intelligence plus self-control to realize that you should probably know better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Man, I have 0
That's 6
intelligence.
dice. That's not bad.
Mhm.
Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
You don't burrow through the wall with your chisel. You catch yourself
But I
and
think close
realize
about it.
if I do that, I'm probably gonna die.
And dull the chisel,
Hmm I mean, you
Definitely
know,
which
double
is what I'm worried
priorities.
about.
Priorities.
So did you actually pull out the chisel, look at it, and think about it for a bit?
Yes.
I'll nod along. I'm like, I get it. I'm feeling it.
Mm,
I pull out my phone and send the prince a text that I'm sure he's not going to check. That just says, "I'm here."
Mhm.
Is Lila around by any chance?
The door has not opened yet, but
I need to get Lila's number.
mhm. You
I
do
feel
have it. She texted you early tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna do something very silly.
Mhm.
I'm gonna text Lila, "You up?"
About 30 seconds later, the door opens. She pokes her head through, just looking aggrieved. Says, "Okay, looks like everyone's here." All right. You might as well come on back. It's not going to get any better if we wait.
I'll just smile
Nope.
bigly. Shall we, gentlemen?
Of course,
yes, I probably.
we will play follow the leader.
And she leads you back to the prince's usual sitting room where a number of people are gathered.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Hey,
As you
Dave.
enter, Rosemary joins her place among those present of the court. Of the court, you have the prince, the sheriff, and now the scourge, and the seneschal, as well as 3 others, Lila, who just sort of hangs in the background. And,
Damn.
a woman that Victor recognizes, the rest of you may not, as Catalina, the prince's child, I believe. Yes, his child. And,
Is that the one on the bike?
Child, grandchild.
Grandchild.
no, the one on the bike is Rosemary.
Oh, okay.
The woman next to her is Catalina.
Oh, we
And,
met her. Yeah.
Gabriel is sitting on the floor next to the prince's chair, looking very worried. And the prince is just sitting there with his hands steepled. Ah, I see you've all made it. Good.
Indeed.
Very good.
Our illustrious prince, how can we serve you tonight?
Well, I am, shall we say, weighing my options and attempting to exercise some degree of restraint. You see, I have a name for our mole, thanks to Victor and his illustrious associates. Thank you very much, Macy's child.
Of course, Prince.
Where is Monsieur Fortier? I called him too.
We are unsure.
In my opinion, it's probably Ventru, Bruja. You know how things go.
Well, I certainly hope not. In any case, I will have to find him later. But, as I was saying, I have a name for a mole, and I must repeatedly tell myself that as I simply summon him here and execute him immediately, it will likely set off an attack by his hunter friends. Therefore, we must be, as they say, subtle. Victor, I would like.
Yes, Prince.
I received rough word of what happened from Gabriel. I would like to hear exactly what happened from you at Elysium last night.
Of course. Upon wanting to figure out the mole, we went to where you would look for a mole, amidst the information they're stealing and giving out. So we went to Elysium. While there, we sniffed around a bit, listened, watched people, and then the little mole decided that they were going to sneak out of a side door. And then they were on their phone for a while, and then abruptly hopped into their car and drove off in what I would consider to be a haste. Personally, I don't believe they were going the speed limit at the time. But I will say with full confidence that they are at minimum compromised. However, as I reported to Maisie, and you may have heard about as well, I am not so sure that they are the only leak. Reason being, while watching them, I picked up on a shadow crossing by a window. And that shadow, well, it didn't get tracked down by our elevator, La Sombra. So it managed to get into the wind, unless it was found on the security cameras, like I requested to be looked into.
Well, that'll be something you'll have to follow up with your sire, but...
I intend to do that as well.
Of course. So. I knew DuPont was a problem. But, unfortunately, my nature got the better of me and I've let him live far longer than I should have.
These things happen at times.
However, as I was saying, if we were to conspicuously dispose of him, it is likely that it will tip off his contacts and perhaps lead to an attack on my citizens.
That is a valid concern, yes.
Therefore, if we are to spring this trap, we must have a plan in place.
I know him rather well. I could cause some distraction.
He was rather attached to his phone. Phones are trackable.
That is true.
So are cars.
Mr. Jenkins.
Yes, your princess.
Get on that.
Certainly.
That would be the first methodologies I would use. Track the car, track the phone. Track his banking information actually may not be a bad play either. They've got to be meeting somewhere or communicating.
So,
if he's got even half a brain, he won't always use his phone, so they'll meet at places. There'll be a pattern.
So, Your Grace.
You could encase him in bronze.
I would request, and I would clarify, there are certain methods that which we can use that, though not particularly obvious, would lead us down a route which may be more detectable than others.
I don't want him to know we are looking into him. He will tip off his friends and disappear.
not him, but I'm more concerned about government entities, though the likelihood of me being found out is not significant, there is a increase in the potential of detection. Are you allowing some appropriate and, if I deem necessary, added risk to tracking him via these methods?
We'll put a team on it. I believe I can now rather confidently say that my domain is at war.
So you would allow me to at least add a little bit of additional discretion to the tracking methods?
Yes. I am less concerned with tipping the government off and more concerned with tipping Mr. DuPont off.
Very good. That was all I wanted to clarify. I just wanted a additional level of security.
We have people who can cover for that. Victor, set my great-grandchild on it, will you? I know the two of you talk.
Raise up, Lydia.
Should we encase him in bronze? That is an option.
No.
What?
Why not?
Encasing him in bronze ensures he doesn't do anything that could then flag us to incriminating action.
I am less concerned with finding proof. I have, frankly, all the proof I need. I trust in my seers. However, I would be very interested in tracing through to his contacts. And perhaps planting information with them. Perhaps we could spring a trap of our own.
I actually have thought about a very good, maybe something to gain us more information that we normally would have.
Go on.
As long as we do not move too expeditiously in a martial manner, if my intent is clear.
As I have said, I am exercising restraint.
As give me 2 days.
2 days.
Do we have any recording of the hunters he's speaking with?
That is what we, I believe, can gather in the next 48 hours. Or, with that 48 hours gathered from him, with his current digital footprint, with his current digital activities, and those digital activities that we can gather.
I will admit, I am not as well versed in your technological tracking techniques, but I do have a phone number for him if that will get you through.
That's at a minimum a good start.
I generally make a point of having contact information for all of my citizens.
Of course, Your Grace.
In case of emergency.
Contact information is always useful.
It is.
So we will take this information. I believe Lydia has that for us.
She just sighs. Lila. Yes, I do.
Lila. My apologies, Lila. And we have no need to expand your exasperations further this evening, and we will extract ourselves from this situation and go take care of this post-haste.
And the prince
What he said.
Glances around, thinks for a moment, reaches down, and with strength a child of his size should not have, grabs the other kindred sitting at his feet by the back of the collar, hauls him up, and just pushes him at you guys and says, "This one will have more information for you. Take what he knows in his head, put it to use."
Gabe?
Hi.
Gabe? He just said that's Gabe?
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
they've known each other for an extended period. Are you really surprised?
What?
No, I didn't do anything. I just listen a lot.
Yes. Thank you, Your Grace. We will go move. I look to everyone else. Is anyone else wanting to add anything to this? Or are we wanting to extract ourselves from this?
I think we want to extract ourselves quickly.
We extract ourselves so that we can work on our part so that everyone else can do their parts.
And I will nod and wave to Lila and say, thank you. Gabe, please come with us. And yeah.
We'll grab one.
Is she the one called Lusitania?
Yeah. Yes, that's that one.
She just sighs.
Yeah.
Says, "I'll get the number for you." And the prince appears to be fuming too much to even remember that he hasn't dismissed you.
Your Grace, you are obviously the most magnanimous creation that we have encountered, and I believe we have everything that we need from you. May we be dismissed to follow through on your most intrepid endeavors.
You can tell he's only even like half paying attention to you, and just looks up and says, "Yes, go."
Okay. Just as, yeah.
As you're leaving, Catalina comes in and just says something quietly to him. You can tell it's kind of like, "Okay, let's not murder anyone."
All right, I'm trying to usher everyone into a side room. We're just trying to get out of the
potential AoE blast range.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. Nope.
Raised finger. What's going on?
On the way out, I will be looking at Rosemary for cues as to, one, whether I'm supposed to go with these people or stay with her, and B, whether she's coming with us or staying with them.
She gives you a glance and just sort of motions with her head for you to go with them, and it seems she is obligated to stay with the court, at least until you leave the building.
Understood.
Okay.
So yes, I will clear out with everyone else then.
So once we get into this side room wherever we end up going.
And Lila has come with you. She is pulling something up on her phone.
I'm going to obviously say, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to take control here. This is an explosive situation.
I agree.
I don't want anyone here. I'm going to look specifically towards all of the senior members, Lila included, all of the senior members that aren't PCs included, as well as the PCs, and say, this could be one of those situations where, regardless of how well we do, every one of us is on the chopping block. Every one of us gets the French Revolution treatment. All I want to do is minimize the chance that Our Grace does that to us, regardless of if we do well or do poorly.
And Gabriel finds a chair, sits down, and just says, "Yeah, no, I've seen him execute some of his favorites over the years."
Yeah. So I'm not trying to take control, but I'm also trying to pull us out of situations that are going to ensure our death. That's what I'm looking at right now. I can take information right now and start to give us some insight, at least to the geographic locations, that sort of thing. That's what I'm going to do. If others can pull in some other insights, if others know people that, is it DuPont? Is that his name? I'm going to look at Lila. I'm going to look at Gabe. If you know contacts of his who may be able to give us corroborating or like negating information regarding his actions, that's great. I'm going to try and track down the technical info, and everyone else, do your thing. I'm going to try and do my thing, let you guys do your thing.
So you duck into a side room. It looks to be a small library. The NPCs that are currently with you are Lila and Gabe. All of the others stayed behind.
Yes.
For the record, for what it's worth, while at Elysium, he did not seem to be favored or overly popular with much of anybody. I would not anticipate that he likely has many friends within the court.
DuPont?
Correct. My thought would be that if he has any, it would likely be perhaps a ghoul, maybe.
Okay.
I do not believe he has many friends amongst our ilk.
He's the guy that frenzied on Elysium a few nights ago, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh,
correct.
I did not hear about this.
What?
Yeah. He's not very good at controlling himself.
Okay, so what do we actually know about DuPont? Let's go from the bottom up. What are the basics and build from there?
So, Leah, I would know a decent amount about him. What would I roll to remember it? I've got 3 in politics.
Yeah, roll me an intelligence plus politics, difficulty 6.
Okay. Two successes.
You know that he has been in this domain for maybe 50, 60 years, is very unpopular due to the fact that he generally thinks he's better than everyone around him without the status to back it up.
Okay.
And you know that a few nights ago he was stripped of some standing, and it was logged with your sire.
So is it an assumption you're sharing this with the rest of us?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we have a clan for this guy? Do we have a...
He is a Toreador.
Toreador? Okay. And Toreador, who appears to have a...
very low resistance to frenzy.
Well, at a
minimum,
complex. A edge. He's got a chip on his shoulder and he is very reactive.
Yes.
Okay, so and Lee, if you're good with this, I'm going to now delve into the techie part of my job. And I'm going to let them do the social, intellectual part if that's what they're going to do. But I'm literally going to sequester myself and say, okay, you guys work on the social aspect of this. I'm going to now dig into his digital profile. So, and if you want me to do extended roles and then role play the rest of this, I'm good with that.
And so Lila can get you a phone number, and she can offer you her work phone, which has text messages that have come from his phone.
So from a phone number, if I am able to hack correctly, I can then pull his MAC address, all the additional information, and then if I get the extended roles, potentially clone even remotely any digital information from him. So I'm going to leave that up to you. If you
this is going
okay with that.
And I'm assuming you're pulling out your laptop and sitting down and starting working.
Yeah.
This
Which
is
is
going
why
to
I
be.
said, I'm going to do this stuff, and if you want to run other stuff with the others, please feel free.
So this is going to be an extended.
Yes.
Extended intelligence plus computers, difficulty 7, and you are going to need to get a total of 10 successes. So start rolling and tell me how many rolls it takes, and we'll see how long this takes you.
Intelligence plus computers for me is an 8 dice. I've got hacking as a focus as well as computer aptitude.
All right.
So you said difficulty 8, which then drops to difficulty 6.
7. Difficulty 7.
So then a difficulty 5.
And you need 10 successes. Tell me how many rolls it takes you.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and a difficulty 5 with a specialization. No ones. So with a difficulty 5 and 3 10s, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's 1 roll.
All right.
And oh yeah, it's very easy within 2 rolls that I get that total successes.
Right. So it's going to take you about 30 minutes. Cool. And in the meantime, what is everyone else talking about? What are you going through?
I'm going to shoot a message to Maisie saying anything on that shadow that was up in the window on the security, or that came across on the security cameras. Do we know who that other person might have been?
You get a text back. We haven't found anyone yet, but we didn't notice anyone else entering or leaving the building.
Understood. I'll follow it up with a message. If DuPont interacts with anyone, please let me know.
Will do. And meanwhile, in the library, as you begin compiling information, Gabriel sort of settles himself in an armchair. Lila leaves in general disinterest after she's handed over the phone. And Gabriel says, so, Everett did tell me to tell you what I know. I can go through things if you have questions. It might be easier if you asked questions.
I can extract it from your mind if you like.
I mean, if you want.
That's why. Okay. That's all right.
I mean, I could just dump everything I know into your brain, but then you'd have as much trouble processing it as I do. So.
This is true.
Do it. Let's start with perhaps. I'm sure that you were also delving more on Mr. DuPont between the last time I saw you and now.
Yeah.
Any further information that might be of use to us involving DuPont's motivations, perhaps?
Motivations.
Like, obviously, he thinks he's been wronged and all of that nonsense, but there had to have been a catalyst.
Well, I saw some things while I was at Elysium, and while I was listening to 5 conversations at once, and while I was doing all of the other things, and then you gave me a drink, so...
That's fair.
So, I saw,
Was I the catalyst?
what do you mean?
The humiliation
Oh,
in front of the harpy.
right, you're that one. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. That's possible. That's not a bad thought, actually. I mean, he's kind of always been like this, but, maybe it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Very possibly.
What happened between you two?
He was courting me to be a Toreador, as
right.
was denied right of progeny.
I mean, behaving as he does, I could understand someone not wanting to give him that right.
I believe it was not only that he was denied the right of progeny, and more that he was also then present while the harpy snatched up his desired child.
Ah. Interesting.
I mean,
No,
potato.
But if you wanted to get to the harpy,
we're all among friends and playthings here. The harpy is kind of a bastard.
I mean, the harpy's a harpy.
Yeah, he is. He really
Think
is.
about them from a mythological sense. They weren't the kindest of creatures.
He's kind of a dick. He's
has been kind to me thus far, but I could see where it would be very easy for that to be the case.
Well, I mean, are you feeding his ego?
No, I'm just interacting politely. Thus far.
I mean, politely, probably subserviently in his mind. He responds well to that. He doesn't like me.
Odd.
I mean, most people don't like me, but I can't really blame them. I can't really blame them. I mean, I am kind of tasked with telling everything I see and hear to Everett.
That should only be a problem if someone's looking to cross Everett. If you don't have any secrets that you need to keep from Everett, then it doesn't matter.
If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But spies aren't the most popular.
I guess that's one of those byproduct things, distrust being a big catalyst for misbehaviors.
But, so, right, questions. What questions do you have besides, right, things I saw, motivations, I had a vision of a witch hunt. A witch hunt led by men in crusader robes or whatever you want to call them, and I saw that, and just a member of the crowd, and the whole crowd was damned. A member of the crowd hanging back with the Inquisitors, egging them on. Not because he cared about the witch, but because he wanted the whole town to burn.
I mean, that does seem to be the general behavior of this particular individual.
I mean, he has to know that they're not gonna spare him. At best, they'll kill him last. At more likely, they'll kill him as soon as he's not useful anymore. Which means if we
Maybe.
want to get our hands on him before they do, we can't tip them off. Although, if I'm being completely honest, I don't really know what difference it makes if we kill him or they kill him. But it matters to Everett, so...
I think Everett wants to deal with them before dealing with him almost. The need to keep him alive in order to protect the people means by default that we have to find a way to use him to get to them, to deal with them before he can be dealt with.
I think what he was leading... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm still learning and stuff, so maybe I got it wrong. But isn't that like the whole point of a wooden stake?
And Chris is sitting there typing on the computer, and he kind of pipes up with, whoever is the one to act ends up eventually having at least momentarily, the upper hand. And he just kind of ducks back down into his typing.
I think what Everett was getting at was the idea of, if with what Chris is doing we can trace his contacts and intercept his lines of communication. If we could send the hunters bad information, we could gain an advantage.
Yes.
But they have to...
They have to think he hasn't betrayed them.
They have to think he hasn't betrayed them, and if we take him in and stake him, that's not that different logistically than just taking him in and killing him. If we take him in and kill him, which we can do, but we have to have a plan so that it doesn't look like he's disappeared.
Oh, if we stake him, can't we just drag him in for somebody who has mind control powers to make him do what we need him to do for them to have the information?
So as this conversation's going on, I'm gonna pipe up, and I'm gonna say, oh, and for you, Lee, as a storyteller, mm-hmm. I've currently got a list of MAC addresses that I was gonna react to, but I forgot. And I can actually cross-reference that with, which then will complicate this roll, mm-hmm. The contacts that I might pull from the phone number that we associate with DuPont. Mm-hmm. So I've got this hunter network, all of these connections that I can then pull to connect to DuPont. Mm-hmm. So do you want me to make another roll to say, I'm doing this thing with DuPont, I'm now adding into it, does this cross-reference with any of these additional points?
Yeah, you can do that. Make me one more intelligence plus computers roll, difficulty 7. Just make me one flat roll and tell me what you get.
-2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Computers intelligence?
Yep.
Okay, that puts me at, I'm guessing 8. One, 2, 3, 4.
4. All right. So, you cross-reference things. You can get a list of contacts, people that he has given information to, okay. People that he is currently in touch with. There is one number that, or one address that he was in touch with that he is no longer in touch with. It looks suspiciously like Jonas's.
Okay, so that I mean, that's just a further confirmation. Mm-hmm. That is if I recognize it, that means, okay, that is an independent verification of guilt. Okay, so, all right, so we now have additional red mark or high priority targets after DuPont. All right, continue, folks.
I could appeal to his ego and say that I'm making a sculpture of him.
You know, honestly, he wanted you as a child. That might not be the worst idea.
Definitely could be a component of the plan.
It could be bait, if nothing else, if he doesn't think we're onto him.
Do we think he's that gullible?
I mean, I know he's got an ego.
Ego.
Just because you'd like it doesn't mean you don't recognize what's too good to be true for being too good to be true.
Have you stopped interacting with DuPont since you were poached? I guess would be the right term.
So at a minimum, I've now confirmed, I say, yes, folks, he has contacted hunters. That is a positive, true fact.
Fantastic. What all information has he shared?
That I don't have yet. More
Okay,
to come.
understood. Figuring out what he shared will let us know whom he was trying to get them to target at the very least.
I mean, we can reasonably assume that he told them about Elysium.
So one of the objects I will try and get is, and this is a hard one, is if we can get his number associated with his MAC address or IMI or EI address, which is associated specifically with his phone, then we could potentially do a clone of his phone even over the network.
What if I got him in a good place for us to have his phone?
I mean, we could totally, in close proximity, clone his phone, which would give us anything he has received or sent on that phone, which would honestly be easier than me trying to clone his phone over the internet.
Yes. Then I think that we go to him or have him come to us.
I mean, we can attempt it. If
But
your rapport with him is still good enough.
I feel like a good area, as I'm typing, pause for 5 seconds, would be a social exploit. Go back to my down for about 20 seconds. Because the best hacking is a social hack. Go back down, continue to type, trying to do technological things, and then continue up. If we can get him in, people he knows and trusts in, that is the best way to get the most info.
Sure.
I mean, he goes to Elysium a lot. Probably wouldn't be that hard to get him to meet you there.
And if you wanted to ply his ego, we could actually go to his wannabe child, who he wanted as a child, and that person reach out to them and pull him into a scenario where there is a collaboration, because artists engage with heavy emotions.
Yes, we do.
Intellectually speaking,
True.
that is a huge tie.
Do you have a 3D scanner?
I do not. I could maybe requisition one?
I
Can you
mean,
give
it
me a
might take
roll?
a night or two to get him to agree to come out anyway.
Why do we need a 3D scanner?
Gotta get
Well,
reference
I'm
pictures for
thinking
your
that-
sculpture.
Yes, and I'm thinking that we build in something to clone his phone into the 3D scanner while I'm using it.
Oh, that's just, you can literally have a device on a person. It doesn't have to be on an object.
But that is,
Like-
Oh, very
I
well.
like that idea.
I mean, it could happen. If you
I
want it to
mean,
happen,
A
we could
3D
potentially
scanner
have
is a
that.
viable object with enough money.
But literally any electronic device in a relatively close proximity to a person can clone a phone. If it has
How close?
a
Enough
device
memory.
that is capable of cloning.
And, 3D scanners take a little time to use and buy you time.
But we can
Mhm.
also just purchase something close to what you want.
I mean,
Well, I can then scan him and maybe have him put his phone down and tell him that it would interfere with the phone, and have it put it
So-
somewhere that's advantageous to you.
So what we could do is, instead of a 3D printer, have a device that appears to be a 3D scanner.
Yes.
Something that is scanning the surrounding for what they want to see while the device is immobile. So we can both look for both. We can look for a scanner. We can look for a device that, actually more than two, something that actually works, something that looks like it's scanning to work, or something that is just simply a light display that could fool a toreador.
And as we discuss the wonders of requisitioning things from the Tremere Quartermaster, that is where we will leave this episode of Lovely Little Dolls. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I hope to see you again next time. Have a good night.